Hey, this is Michael Pavlovich, and this time we're going to focus on making a character. We'll go over a few basic approaches to starting a creation, and in this case end up with a simple Z-sphere adaptive skin mesh, which we'll then use as a base to begin our character. While we're sculpting our main forms, we'll get into reference and inspiration, forms, caricature, common practices for production, and concept sketch modeling in 3D using ZBrush. Once we get our character to a certain point, we're going to quickly re-topologize and reproject the character so that we can continue with a mesh better suited for detail sculpting, as well as getting a head start on our game res by building in edge loops ideal for animation. Next, we'll begin a detailed anatomy sculpt and discuss techniques for wrinkles and blemishes, as well as high-frequency details such as pores that help us break up our surfaces. Of course, we'll have to make eyes, teeth, and a tongue for the character, which we'll make utilizing a number of ZBrush techniques, including shadow box and spotlight. We'll lay in a base polypaint using spotlight and photo reference for his entire body, clean up the polypaint and punch it up using a few ZBrush painting techniques, and then go ahead and texture the rest of his bits, namely the teeth, tongue, and eyes. Next, we begin blocking in his clothing and accessories, discussing both ZBrush techniques and external 3D options, as well as utilizing your base mesh geo to save time. Once everything is blocked out, we'll go ahead and begin sculpting and refining his clothing. We'll also begin defining his hard edge accessories, such as his badge and his weapon, utilizing a number of tools within ZBrush, including Shadowbox, Dynamesh, Matchmaker, and the new insert brushes. We'll go through and texture his clothing next using a combination of spotlight painting, layering wear with multiple photographs, and refining details with alphas. We'll also add high-frequency tiling detail to our clothing using a combination of UV Master and Noisemaker with imported alphas. We'll also touch on ZBrush's new fiber system, which we'll use to add facial hair and a bit more personality to our character. Finally, we'll go over the different rendering techniques and Photoshop work needed to arrive at our final cover image, touching on the new light cap system, HDR lighting, and BPR rendering. As always, ZBrush continues to be one of the industry-leading tools for asset creation, and characters are no exception. So let's get in there and start sculpting.